What's going on, Jerome's? The NFL draft is upon us, and throwing it back to 2019 when the Vikings made Alexander Mattison back into the third-round pick coming out of the Boise State University. Had some size, could run with power, could run with an outside zone, had a little bit of wiggle. He was really solid as Dalvin Cook's backup for a number of seasons. But last offseason, when the Vikings showed Dalvin Cook the door, and then he had just a fantastic half season with the Jets. They did re-sign Alexander Mattison to a 2-year deal worth up to $8 million in incentives, and he was going to be the RB1. He was going to be that guy, but the rushing game just really never really got going. And you could say part of it was on Mattison, part of it was on the O-line, part of it was O'Connell, sure. But either way, the Vikings running game was just not good last year, and some business decisions were made, and the Vikings are parting ways with Alexander Mattison. Adam Schefter, go. Vikings informed running back Alexander Mattison today that they are releasing him per Souse. Mattison took over last season for Dalvin Cook and ran for 700 yards and caught 30 passes. Now he becomes a free agent again, like last year when he signed a 2-year deal with Minnesota. Now, part of this is it's likely mutual, because the Vikings, we'll get into the contract, but they don't save a ton in cap space immediately. And with Mattison, pretty clear last season that he was pretty frustrated with his role in the offense. He wasn't getting running back one work, and the Vikings traded for Cam Akers, and also they're giving the time of day for Ty Chandler, who I think is going to enter the season as running back one now. So it could be a spot where the Vikings and Mattison, Mattison unhappy with his role here, wants to try somewhere else, and the Vikings do him a solid by letting him get almost a 2-week head start on free agency. And Mattison, last year just was whatever. I mean, 700 yards rushing, 0 goose egg D'Angelo Russell, rushing touchdowns, 3.9 yards per carry, which is not good. Only 17 carries of 10-plus yards. His long for the season was 21. It just wasn't really getting anything going. Plus had 2 fumbles. Both of them were absolute killers. And 30 catches for $192. Did catch 3 touchdowns, but also had 6 drops. And a major part of the Vikings' issues in the 0-3, 1-4 start was drops and fumbles, and Mattison was certainly a part of that in the beginning of the season. But it is what it is, and the Vikings part way with Mattison. Now Mattison is guaranteed $2.75 million of his 2024 salary. Now that is offset, so wherever he signs next, likely for the league minimum, that is going to be a rebate on the Vikings salary cap for 2025. So right now they only realized $600,000 in immediate cap savings. So actually, plot twist. So the reports of the $2.75 million being guaranteed when he signed his contract last offseason apparently getting walked back. Jason OTC saying that the Vikings will save $3.35 million in cap space, so that's $600K plus the blah 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 blah. Basically, Jason saying injury guaranteed and incorrectly reporting everywhere last year. Honestly, I simply forgot to update to the right numbers when I found out the reports were wrong. And then Kramer Strib, turns out the over the cap was wrong until it was recently changed to reflect that Mattison had a trigger date on $2.75 million guaranteed instead of just being injury guaranteed. Vikings releasing him before that and saving that money, easy call, it seemed. Good to go. But I'm perfectly okay with moving on. And Ty Chandler, he is running back one. And I think there's a good reason why Kevin O'Connell, when asked specifically about the running backs at the Combine, I think Matthew Berry, Fantasy Football, talented Mr. Roto, asked a question. There's a reason why Kevin O'Connell went hard in the paint talking about Ty Chandler, because I think that he is going to be running back one entering camp. Now, never say never. Like, this is the bonanza. Like, this might be the greatest free agent running back class in NFL history. And with the running back market depressed the way that it is, even with the salary cap increase, I mean, could the Vikings entertain bringing in Derrick Henry for $8 million, or Saquon for 12, or Jacobs for 12, or Pollard for 10, or whatever? I mean, it's possible. It's something that the Vikings certainly could think of, but I think more likely they'll take a look in the draft. Now, Bucky Irving, former Gopher, ton of fun, super shifty, getting out there and getting after it, man. Braylon Allen, the absolute jacked up power running back. Marshawn Lloyd from USC. Audric Estime, power and size and a little bit of speed too. Trey Benson is out there. Blake Corum, the workhorse from Michigan. He's going to be a Charger, right? Second round pick. Go ahead. Jonathan Brooks coming off that ACL with Texas. Dylan Laub, the Danny Woodhead of New Hampshire. Dylan Johnson, formerly in Mississippi State, was a big part of the Washington Huskies offense this year. Will Shipley, baby Christian McCaffrey. Why not? So the Vikings will have options, whether it be the draft, whether it be free agency or in-house, because I do believe, like, Ty Chandler, I mean, yeah, he's got to button things up a little bit in pass protection, but as a true three-down threat, I think Ty Chandler could be that guy going forward. And with Mattison, he's a guy. He was a guy that you could definitely root for, and I was hoping that things would work out. And he's still a rock solid jack of all trades running back, but for whatever reason, it just did not work out, and it sort of is what it is with it. And the business is the business. So there you go. But your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings reportedly are going to release veteran running back Alexander Mattison. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.